Yo, yo, yo. Good morning, my neighbors. Yeah. Welcome to Morning Motivation, your daily dose of inspiration and empowerment. And I'm your host, Jamon, and I'm thrilled to have you join us as we kickstart our day with positivity and purpose. So whether you're here to seek motivation, connect with like-minded individuals, or simply get your day started on the right foot, you've come to the right place. And on your way in, go ahead and hit that like button. Let me know you're here. Let me know you're doing all right this morning. Because it's Tuesday, but for some of us, it's still Monday. And I'll be honest with you. That's a nice sweater there, buddy. Shout out to my guy D-Rob. Craig G, that chick, yo. Glad to be in the building once again. And I really wanted to be on the stream yesterday, but your boy was tired. We'll talk about that on the back end of the show. For now, though, I want to get into something that, no, sir, it is not your sweater. This is not, it's actually a hoodie, y'all. It's not even a sweater. It's really more of a workout sweater. But it is nice. Appreciate you. I want to get into something today that, excuse me, told you this. I'm on a struggle bus today, y'all. That's near and dear to my heart. And I want to shout out all the veterans out there that I didn't say Happy Veterans Day to yesterday. Yesterday was Veterans Day, as most of you well know. You saw the long lines outside of restaurants where they were giving their free veteran meal or their deeply discounted veteran meal. Shout out to all those establishments who recognize that veterans do play a critical role in our way of life, the freedom that we have in this country. So shout out to you guys that did that. Bro, don't play with me, bro. Don't. Ooh, I see what you. Okay, I see what your day gonna be. No, sir. You can probably wear this comfortably. It's an XL, my guy. My son's 143 pounds and he don't even wear an XS. Anyhow, y'all ain't gonna throw me. The devil is a lie. He ain't gonna throw me off target this morning. Yo, can you help your boy a little bit, yo? Can you save your boy? Cause you see they ganging up on me right now. But what I believe, man, is that, and I've said this since I was probably 25, which is a long time ago, that I believe every person should not be forced to do. I don't believe in forcing people to do things they don't want to do, but I believe every person should serve a stint in the military if they don't have a clear path to the future. You know what? Bump that. Even if they do have a clear path to the future, the military is an option. Should be an option for everybody. At least they should have a 2-year enlistment to where you can come in and do just administrative stuff. But just being in the military, and I'm not saying go off fighting war, I'm saying even in peacetime, there should be a stint where everybody joins the military. And the reason this comes up is not just because yesterday was Veterans Day, but on Thursday, Friday, last week, I told you I had to take the young gun to get some work done to his car. So we're driving and talking. It's about an hour and a half drive. On the way back, he says, "Hey, Pop, I got an appointment. Can you go with me to my appointment?" I'm like, yeah, I got time. What's up? He said, "I'm going to the recruiter's office." I said, oh, you going to whose office? He said, I'm going to the recruiter's office. Let me take my glasses off for this one. He said, I'm going to the recruit. I want to go to the recruiter's office. I want to talk to him. Now, mind you, this is the guy who was adamant that he did not want to go to the military. He didn't like school, so he really didn't want to go to college. He was just going to get a job, stay at home, work, figure it out. And I said, okay, son, we got 3 rules in our house. Once you graduate high school, you got to do something. You ain't just going to sit around and live off for your parents. And no, you got to do something. Either you going to college, you have a focus towards something, you're going to go to the military, or you're going to get a regular 9 to 5. And in your regular 9 to 5, I'm going to give you 6 months to figure it out. I'm going to give you 6 months of stacking chips. 6 months of stacking chips before you got to start contributing. And if you don't stack chips in that 6 months, I'm gonna pay your deposit to get your first place so you can get out of my house. Because I'm a team player. But I also believe that if you don't help people help themselves, they're gonna use you and they're gonna abuse you, whether they mean to or not. Just seen it too many times. So we go to the recruiter's office. He takes a practice ASVAB test. We talk about the paths of the military, the benefits of the military, and why he wants to join the military. And as a father, I'm sitting there. I didn't say a word. I'm just listening. And I'm letting him speak for himself, because this is a decision that he should not take lightly. But he also needs to now know that he's a man and he has to make his own decisions, and no input from me. I'm just there for more support. And so they're having this conversation, and the recruiter's asking some shout out to Sergeant Bush, man. Sergeant Bush was asking them all the right questions. He was making them answer tough questions. He had to look at me a couple times before he actually answered, because he asked some things that I had previously asked him. And he told me, oh, no, Pop, no, I would never. Right. And come on now, bro. I've been 16. I've been 17. I've been 18. I know the drill. I know how it go. So we get through that. He get the orders. He get this big, thick packet of paper. He said, young man, how serious are you about joining the military? He said, I'm very serious. On a scale of 1 to 10, how serious are you? It's the sale tactic, right? This is like professional level sales right here. He said, I'm very serious. He said, well, look, here's this stack of papers. I ain't got a stack of papers that thick on my desk, but here's this stack of papers. I want you to take these papers and I want you to fill them out. And he's going to ask you a lot of things. If you have any questions, you can contact me. I'll help you. I'm sure your father's willing to help. But if you're serious, I want to see you next week. I want to see you in less than a week with these papers filled out. And Sergeant Bush looked at me and winked, because I already knew. This is where most people flake out. If you can't fill out a stack of papers, I don't want you joining my military services. And most people will flake out at that moment because they look at it and say, this is too much. I can't do all of this. I know people who went and got that packet, and 6 years later, man, that packet, man, I wish I'd fill that paperwork out, man. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go get some more now. Bro, if you ain't do it then, you ain't gonna do it now. Because you really don't want it. You're really not looking toward the future. But anyway, let me get off of that. So he come by the house Sunday night. And we're talking, just, father, son talk. We laughing, having a good time. He pulls his paperwork out. He's done pretty much everything he can do. So the rest is up to me and his mom to fill out. So we going through it. We getting everything situated. And it was a couple of trap questions on there that we had to kind of get straight for him. But we had a good time. This guy is happier now than he was when he got his car. And that was the happiest I'd ever seen him. And I sat back and I thought to myself, why is this guy so happy? Because he almost punched my window out talking about he don't want to join the military a couple months ago. Why is this guy so happy right now? Why does he look like this weight is off his shoulders? Why does he look relieved right now? And this is what I wanted to talk about yesterday. And so I know anybody that's on this line or on this stream right now, you already kind of found a path. You're already doing the thing. And so this stream may not be directly for you. However, this stream could be a good tool to share to that young brother, that young sister, that young niece or nephew, or that young child that's just kind of hanging around, not doing a lot. Hadn't quite gotten into trouble yet, but they teetering. Because one thing that I learned, like the years 18 to 24, I call those the trap years. 18 to 24. That is the time when the incarceration rate goes up, especially in low income communities. That's the time when, and this is across the board, the STD rate goes up, 18 to 24. The pregnancy rate goes up. I mean, it skyrockets, 18 to 24. These are your trap years. In some in literal sense and the figurative sense, the trap years, boys out there hustling for the summer. Because what happens is, you graduate high school, you don't have a lot of structure around you, but you got a strong set of friends. Some of those friends leave. Some join the military, some go off to college, but there are a few that stay around. Some of those friends go off to college. There's even fewer around. And so now the friends that were the more positive friends, the friends that were more higher achieving in grades and athletics and sports, they have tend to make inroads other places. And so now you're at home left with I'm talking about guys right now in this moment. I don't know what it's like to be a girl, don't make a move, but as a guy, now you around the people more that, you got one or two that you was real tight with, but they got a group of friends that you didn't really know that well. And they just kind of hang around. They go out to the local warehouse, get a job, loading trucks, unloading trucks. Now, in today's era, they just drive for Uber. They work, they smoke weed on the weekends. They drink, they hang out. They at the basketball court in the middle of the day with most folk at work. And all it takes is to be in the wrong place at the right time, your life changes. All it takes is to be in the right relationship, but at the wrong time, your life changes. Or you get stuck in this dead-end job that you don't like, but because you're from a small town, what else you gonna do? So you end up in some bad habits because there's still no structure. And you just sitting around playing Madden all day. You sitting around playing Call of Duty all day in between your work hours. And you're not progressing in life. And you don't realize it yet, but life is slowly passing you by. All of your peers, your friends, they're moving on in their lives. Some have degrees, some are making more money and they have more options, and now they come back home to visit and you feel away because they're making some moves and you're not. Their lives are advancing and yours isn't. And some hard decisions have to be made at that point because time is slowly passing you by. Time is slowly passing you by. And so the trap years, man, 18 to 24. All right, so let's get into today's topic. That was just the warm up. Just kind of let you guys know where we're going and why. So today we're going to talk about 10 reasons why the military is a cheat code to life. Now y'all know my backstory. When I joined the military when I was 17. I was a junior in high school. I begged my parents to let me go into the National Guard. And the National Guard at the time had a program called a split option. Not sure if it still exists, but it would allow me after my junior year in high school to go to basic training, come back for my senior year, and then after I graduated, go on to whatever job field I was going into. So that's what I did. And I knew that if I don't make an active decision in my life, I'm going to get caught up. Because in my family, there were a lot of people who were just hanging around. It wasn't a whole lot of progression as far as success in life. Now, can we play some spades? Can we drink you up under the table? Oh man, can we cousin fuss with the best of them? Did we have a reputation in our communities for being those people that you don't want it with those people? Yeah. But how far in life will that carry you? Because you are a big fish in a very small pond, your neighborhood. And then as that extends out, and the badder you get in a city, the more enemies you develop. And then, wrong place, right time, your whole life changed. So I knew I needed to get away. And so I did. And the things I love about the military is that no matter where you come from, no matter your background, your economics, your family, they will break you down the moment you go in. And I don't mean break you down in a bad way, but they strip you. They strip you naked. And they have you out here looking like this. They have you out here looking like this. Look at that. These jokers, they done cut my hair down. I had a nice little wave pattern rolling. You know, I had the spirals going. You get seasick looking at my head. And they went in, they clean shaved my face. They knocked all my hair off. They took me out of my clothing. They took me out of my FUBUs and put me in some Army fatigues. Now, I was in ROTC, so I came in as a specialist. This is an actual basic training. No, this is after basic training. Never mind. This is not the actual basic training. You don't want to see them with that one. That one looked real bad. But and you know what? I never saw it, Craig. I never saw Junior until when I found this picture, I said, well, dang, I guess the boy is mine. I said, dang, I guess the boy is mine. But yeah, man. What up, Kay? And so, when talking to my son, my youngest son, Jordan, we talked about the military. I gave him all the benefits that I'm about to give you guys. I gave him all the pros. I gave him all the cons. And I told him he needed to make a choice. I don't care what choice he made, but he needed to make a choice. So the number one thing most people think about when they talk about, you know, what's the benefits of going to the military? Well, first is the education. It's the education. Like most modern companies today, they have a tuition assistance program. And a lot of people don't realize that, but once you're in the military, they will pay for you to go to school. And I don't even mean your GI Bill. Those things you can use after you get out. But literally, while you are in the military, they will pay, Junior with muscles, they will actually pay for your classes that you take. 100% in most cases. There's some exceptions. But so you're in the military, you're getting paid to be in the military, and they're paying you to go to school. And then when you get out, you have money to actually go to school again. That's above and beyond what any Fortune 500 or Fortune 1000 company is going to do. They will reimburse, but they're not going to pay for it, then pay you again. Just don't happen that way. So that's the first benefit. That's the most obvious benefit. Number two, professional training and skill development. As a soldier, you are constantly being thrust into leadership positions. You are constantly, well, first off, you don't just go to basic training and then go be a soldier. No, you go learn a job skill. When you go in, based on your ASVAB, they give you a list. The higher you score on your ASVAB, the greater the list of jobs you can do. If you go in there and you score a 13 on your ASVAB, you might got two things you can do. And infantry, y'all think, look, let me dispel a rumor right now. People who go into the military and they go infantry, you don't go infantry because you're not smart. No. You have to be smart to go into infantry. Why? Because you're dealing with weapons of destruction. You have to deal with bombs and missiles and different weaponry. You can't be a dummy and be an infantry soldier. It doesn't work that way. You got to have a lot of brain powers and reasoning skills and physical fitness to be an infantry soldier. A lot of people think that because you don't go to college or because you don't go off into your uncle's company, your dad's company, or the family business, and you go military, that you go military because you don't have any other options. Oh no, quite the opposite. And everybody go military ain't a fighting soldier. Most military positions are support positions. We support the mission. Everybody isn't a guy that's going to be on the front lines doing that dirty work. There's specialties for that, and you can't be a dummy to do it. Some of the smartest people in the world are in your armed forces, in the infantry units. I just want to dispel that notion, because some people think that you a dummy. No. You don't give dummies weapons like that. You don't give dummies skills and know-how like that. Just, it's not smart. It's not smart. However, it doesn't take a whole lot to throw trash in the back of a truck. It don't take a whole lot to put some eggs on the griddle. It don't take a whole lot of brain power to drive from point A to point B, or to check a few boxes here and there. Military, police, infantry, aviation, military intelligence, satellite communications. Now they got all these drone mechanics and drone operators. I mean, and they're all attached to infantry or closely associated with infantry. Anyway, let me get off of that one. But imagine the skills you're learning at 21, 22, 23, while your counterparts are on the yard. They're stomping the yard. They're at the CAF. They're at the student union. As a soldier, you out here learning skills that truly matter on a grand scale. You're the same age. Me and my homeboys had, majority of them went to college. I chose military. When I would come home and I would go back to their homecomings or go visit, I think I was the only one that actually had money. Because not only was I learning a skill, not only did I have a profession, but they paid me to teach me, then they paid me to do it. They paid me to teach me, then they paid me to do it. And so when I come back home, had I been a car guy, I probably would have got me some fancy car or whatever. People do it. It's guys right now that's sitting around 2 years in, they got Hellcats. I mean, I ain't never been in a car like that. I like to spend my money in different ways. So that really wasn't my path, but trust me, it was E3s walking around. These are like guys who've been in a year or two driving Mercedes, and today it will be Hellcats or Benzes, and Because you got that military ID, and when you go into a car lot, they look at your rank and they look at how much longer you got on your enlistment, and they will put you in something that you want, because you got enough time to pay for it. Because you will pay for it. You will pay for it. So they don't, because look, they'll call on basically your commander. Your commander will make sure that it gets paid for. So, but yeah, professional training and development. The skills that you learn just doing your job. You getting real time. You're not just getting the college degree, then you got to go get the experience. No, you're getting the experience on the first side of it. Did you go collect all your free Veteran Day meals? Nah, I don't really do it too much like I used to. Simply because I don't really have the time, man. Because there's so many veterans that I'm not really a person who like to wait in long lines. So the thing that I would take advantage of, honestly, that I would go out and say, you know what, boom, I'll do this. I go to Sheetz. Sheetz is a gas station we have here. And Sheetz will do a free sandwich, drink, and a car wash. And it's like, man, I need my car wash. It's lunchtime. Let me just run the Sheetz. So I go do that. But I don't go to like Texas Roadhouse or Longhorns or anything like that to go get whatever. You know, it's just like, it's cool. You know, it's a great benefit. It's a great option, because quiet as it kept, there are a lot of homeless veterans out there. There are a lot of homeless veterans out there. There are a lot of people who are restarting their lives, and they're trying to figure it out. And that good meal, man. So I'm not gonna take the resources. Could have gone to Zaxby's. Yo, I didn't even think about Zaxby's, yo. With the peach Sprite. I didn't even think about Zaxby's. But nah, I've been cleaning up my diet a little bit more too. Cause your boy's I'm still what am I right now? I'm like 213. I'm still 213. I'm still over 200 pounds. So I'm trying to get back down to around maybe 205, 200, 205 range. I want to lean out a little bit. So I'm kind of cutting back on a lot of the fast food that I would generally eat. You know, you still got that young metabolism, D-Rob. So you can go on get it in how you feel. Me, you know, I can still do it, but I just pay a little heavier cost on the end. The third thing, the cheat code: discipline and structure. The military environment emphasizes discipline, resilience, and structure. This is where you learn leadership. This is where you learn those personal growth skills. This is where you learn what you are made of. Because if you came from a house where you had parents that were firm, not super strict, but they was firm on what they said and what they meant, then you had structure, you had discipline. But there's so many people who come out of homes where there's only one parent, and especially if it's a male child and the mom is there, it's a little different once that child hits about 14, 15. Because at 14, 15, the boy is generally bigger than the mama. Generally, not in all cases. He gets a little bit more hard-headed. Now, depending on how he's constructed, how he's built, he gonna listen to mama a little more, or he gonna buck a little bit more. And because he ain't getting in a lot of trouble, mama gonna let him live. She'll be on his head, don't get me wrong. But he'll take it, all right, mom, I got you. I'm good, mom. But he gonna go do what he gonna do. I keep telling y'all, man, my mom wouldn't have been able to do nothing with me at 14 if my dad wasn't around, because I was already rebellious. Now, I would have respected my mom. I would have listened to her. I would have did most of what she told me to do until I didn't. And then I would have did what I wanted to do. And what was she going to do to make me not do it? I've always been a very self-sufficient person, even before the military. I can really do for myself. I don't need you to cook me a meal. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't need you to give me money. I had 2 jobs. So I've always been a self-sufficient person. I could have been emancipated at 14 or 15 and would have been fine from my parents. But I know everybody's not built that way. But the military now will step in and they will provide that discipline and that structure, and that's what people run from. That's the first thing people run from. They say, "Oh, I don't want to go fight in no war." Odds are you're not going to fight in no war anyway. However, and if you do, unless you're frontline, you're not going to really see action. Now, there's some stuff that can happen along the way, just being in the environment. I'm not discounting that. But what I'm saying is, what the average person think about the fight is not the fight that they're going to experience. What they don't want to experience is that discipline, people telling them what to do, that structure, having to conform to something, having to submit. People don't want to submit. Submit is not a bad word. People don't want to submit. There's peace and there's safety in submission. And the only person you ask to submit is a person that is equally as strong as you are. And 2 wheels can't win. Somebody has to submit. And so I can go in the military bucking like I'm the baddest thing around, or I can submit and learn and learn what they're going to give me. If not, then I might one day wake up with 4 or 5 drill sergeants surrounding me ready to cave my face in. Hey man, D-Rod, let me tell you, the Bible is full of submission. And preachers say it because people have this strong will, this strong nature. And they don't want authority. They don't want anybody's authority over them. But then they go to church every Sunday saying, thank you, Lord. Your child, no. Your children submit to you. As a parent, think about it. Your child has to submit to you. Dear, I ain't even going there. I'm not even going there, bro. We're going to take it from a Bible perspective. Because as what I'm about to say may sound harsh, but it's the realest thing you ever going to hear. You can't protect what you can't control. The military has the discipline that they have. The military has the structure that they have to protect the soldiers from themselves, from the enemies, from predators in the community. Parents have that same control over their children to protect them. But the child has to be willing to be protected. The soldier has to be willing to be protected. Now, when you get into relationships, that's another whole story that I'm not going into, D-Rod, because you already know the rest. Submission is a voluntary thing because you respect the institution or you fear it. One of the two. When you first go in the military, you kind of fear it a little bit, but then you grow to respect it because you understand why. You understand the value. You understand the benefit, which is why you have soldiers that will wear, they ain't been in the service in 30 years, but they'll still wear their hats and their rings and their shirts. They'll go buy new battle rattle or new fatigues, and they'll still wear certain pieces of it all the time because they respect the value that was added to their lives. And they never want to let that go. They still live by a code because they learned that structure matters. And people that are unruly, they don't want structure. People that are rebellious, I understand, but I do also understand that in order to be successful in life, I have to submit to somebody at some time. Whether it's a mentor, whether it's a leader. In certain situations, I may not understand what I'm doing. And my wife may know, so guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna submit to her authority because she has mastered a thing. Submission is not just a wife submit to your husband. No. It's lowering your resistance and your will so somebody else can lead for a second. So somebody else can give you the insight, give you the keys, the value, the benefit. Now, fellas, I wouldn't submit to some of y'all jokers either, because some of y'all jokers suck. Hey, man, I know so many dudes who think they got it going on. They think they got it together, but no. And you mad because your girl don't want to follow a parked car. How can she follow a parked car? You ain't going nowhere, bro. But anyway, I'm going to digress. We're talking about the military today. Number 4, health and wellness benefits. You're doing PT, physical training every day. Well, not every day, but at least, depending upon where you're stationed, 3 days a week. At least 3 days a week. Versus when you're out the military, I might go play a game of pickup here and there. You go to college, you're getting that freshman fit team. But in the military, no. Which is why most people who serve in the military tend to look younger longer. Because they're not, now don't get it twisted. We did spend most of our early 20s working out every morning and doing them 12-ounce curls every night. We drank hard, we trained hard, we partied hard. But it's something about the structure, the physical training, and not to mention free free medical care. Free medical care. I didn't have to go pay any additional money coming out of my check for insurance. It came with the package. It was like power windows and a sunroof. It just came with the package. I didn't have to pay any extra for it. So I'm working out 3 to 5 times a week. And most likely, there's other people in my unit that goes to the gym in the evening. So we going to the gym in the evenings. We drinking out of those 7 days. We drinking 3 out of the 7 days. We're eating square meals. Life is good. We driving good. We got a good group of friends around us. Life is good, and you only been in 3 years. Now you done made a little rank, because it's not hard to rank up, especially your first 4. It's not hard to get those first 4. Inside of 2 years, you can get your E4 level, which is the beginning of going into that leadership phase. And then that's what 4 and 5 was health awareness and physical fitness. 6 is now you're getting ready to slide into those leadership spaces, because now you're an E4. Now you're like an assistant manager as an E4. Now you can be a squad leader as an E4. Now you learn not only learn how to manage yourself, but now you learn how to start managing soldiers. The leadership opportunities. And you just in year 3, potentially year 4. No, you definitely, if you are E3, you are E4 by, year 3, you okay. You ain't fast tracking, but you okay. Now, if you at year 4 and you're in E5, you advancing a little faster, because potentially there are certain jobs that you will rank up in faster than others. But if you just got a regular support position, E4 in 5 years, E5 in 4 years, sergeant in 4 years, that's a good clip. That's a good clip of time. But at this level, now you're starting to sit in on meetings that you normally wouldn't sit in. Now you're leading in some of the physical training. Now you're leading in some of the field exercises when y'all go to the field. Now you're helping create the CQ duty list, the duty rosters. You get that assistant manager training. You ain't got to pay nothing extra for it. Meanwhile, your counterparts, they're at home, they're at year 4, They might have got $1 raise in 4 years. They about to graduate college, or they're about to graduate. The other was about to graduate college and about to go out into the work world. Now they're getting their resumes together. They're getting their fraternal letters. And they can bark and stomp and dance and scroll, but they ain't got no experience. So they just spent 4 years getting this degree. Now they about to go somewhere and work for $22,000 a year, $27,000 a year. Depending on the field. Some of them might get out, like one of my homeboys, he got out making 50. But he worked his butt off though. He went on every internship he could go on to. He made great connections. But he's the exception to the rule. He's not the general rule. Hey, cutie. How you doing? Hey. So y'all see the comparisons. 4 years in college, 4 years in the military, 4 years at home. At home, you're liable to get caught up. In college, you get a piece of paper, and most times, most people don't even work in the industry where they got their degree in. So they got to go out and start over somewhere else. They have a degree, but they got to go start somewhere else and learn a new skill. But in the military, day one, you was already learning the job. You was already getting the skill. And the military will, if you are ambitious, they will even pay for you to go to college while you're in the military to get the degree to go along with the experience. Cheat code. And they paying you the whole time. They paying you the whole time. Now, there's some downfall. There's some pitfalls to it, though. There's some pitfalls to it. With the military, actually, let me, you know what? Let me go through my list. All right, number 7, financial stability. Outside of the paychecks, the 1st and the 15th, you're going to get paid like clockwork. 1st and the 15th, you getting paid 99.8% of the time, you are getting paid unless you do something dumb and you get your wages gone. It's not like paying for your car and then they got to come hunt you down. You will not be in the military and be in super debt. You will not. It's not going to happen. You will pay it one way or the other. You will do it voluntarily or you will do it involuntarily. But you ain't got to pay no light bill. You ain't got to pay no rent. Only thing you really got to pay is your cell phone. If you want your own Wi-Fi, you got to pay for that. Or cable or whatever people do these days. You got to pay for your expenses. The military takes care of everything else. Everything that your mama and your daddy took care of, Uncle Sam now takes care of it. You just got to go do your work, become proficient, and live your life. That's really what it comes down to. That's why I call it a cheat code. You are learning leadership skills. You are becoming an adult. You are being tested and you're being pushed to your limits in so many other ways. You are learning yourself and you're getting paid to learn yourself. You're getting paid to learn new skills. And people don't do it because, I don't want somebody telling me what to do. Somebody your kids gonna tell you what to do at a certain point. You will never get away from people telling you what to do. The question is, are the people telling you what to do, how much value are they adding to your life? How much energy are they pouring into making you the best absolute version of yourself that you can be? Be all that you can be. Get an edge on life in the Army. Those were the commercials I heard. We do more before 9 a.m. than most people do all day. Facts. By 9 a.m. sometime, it's like, man, what time is it? 3? Because some days, depending on what the schedule is, you get a lot done. Because you've been up since 5 a.m. working. By 9 a.m., it's like, all right, chow time. You think you going to the chow house thinking it's lunchtime, and they serving their bacon and eggs that you ain't had to pay for. And it's not all the time that you got to get up early. Sometimes, look, I'm just saying, there's always going to be somebody going to tell you what to do. Always. But what's the smart play for your life? What's the smart play for your life? Do you want to stay home with mom and be comfortable, and you and your mama roommates? She's using you as a surrogate husband. You using her as a sugar mama. But you are not going anywhere. What happens when mom's life changes? What happens if mom dies? And she leaves you that whole $10,000 life insurance policy. How far is that going to get you? You still don't have the skills, and now you don't have your support. And you're 29 years old. What are you going to do? When all your friends come back home for the holidays and they pulling up. How do you feel about yourself? I have a friend right now that we love this guy, man. He's like, we can't tell a story without his name being mentioned at some point. But he don't want to be around us because he feel like he's less than us. And every time we catch, because he don't come out often, but when we catch him out, man, it's all love, bro. Come on, bro, we need you to link up. He's like, yeah, man, we need to do that, man. But nah, man, I'm just chilling, man. I'm just chilling, man. Because he's embarrassed because his life didn't turn out the way he thought it should have. Or he wanted to. He made some mistakes. He did some things. Some things happened to him. He's embarrassed. He's ashamed. We love him regardless. But how you see yourself matters. And so the best thing the military ever did for me was, one, take me out of my environment. 2, it gave me a sense of purpose because I didn't even like school. Why am I gonna pay money to go do something I don't even want to do, and then you're gonna charge me $100,000 to do it? Man, y'all must be stupid. I ain't doing that. But I knew I can't stay here. For me, the military was my saving grace, because had I stayed home, I'd be dead. I'd be just getting out of jail right now, or I'd have been dead decades ago. Because my environment wasn't productive. I was exposed to a lot of the wrong things. And so there are a lot of kids who grow up in the same way that I did. They feel the same way I feel, and they rebelling because they don't want nobody to tell them what to do. So not only did I get financial stability, I got job security. I wasn't worried about being laid off or fired. My job, because I was in aviation, was an in-demand job. So I learned some really important, valuable skills, valuable to the market, which translated into other areas. Had I not went in, I would have had to go take this course, get this degree, get that certification. But I got it all in the military, and it all translated across. And then when I got out as a veteran with a certain level of respect that having that status afforded me. I didn't have to go prove myself in some company somewhere. Oh, he's a veteran. He's already had leadership training. He's already had skill development. He knows how to work with people. He knows how to listen. He knows how to submit. He knows how to submit his will for the team, for the bigger cause. He understands teamwork, self-sacrifice, service. So I can't treat him like I treat the guy who just came out of college. I can't treat him like the guy who graduated high school. He deserves a little bit more respect because he's earned it. But truly, the second, I said the best thing. That was the best thing. Because had I not gotten away, I'd be in trouble. But the next thing the military did for me was it exposed me to a larger world. It exposed me to other lives. And I don't mean taking a 2-week trip to the Bahamas where I'm at a resort. I don't mean taking a weekend cruise to 7 locations. No, that's not the travel I'm talking about. I'm talking about living in a country for a year. Dealing with the people of that country. Understanding the politics of that country. Seeing that no matter where you go in the world, there you are. Going to a new zip code doesn't change who you are. People are people. Politics are politics. No matter where you go, it's all the same. Oh man, it's better over here. No, it ain't. The environment is what the environment is. It's the people. Are the people the same? Probably. Is there a higher caliber of person there? Possibly. But is there a lower caliber of people there? Most definitely, because people are people no matter where you go. You got your good side of the tracks, you got your bad side of the tracks. You got your high income, you got your low income. It's all the same. This, if you live life right, you can do all of that. Sometimes being in an environment that you're not prepared for will do way more harm to you than it will do good. Sure, there's more opportunity, there's more people, there's more stuff, but there's also more predators. There are more people trying to take advantage of you. Just like in the military, nobody's gonna give me a 2-liter Coca soda, a 2-liter Coke, and tell me, hey, fill out this credit card form, we'll give you this. Nobody's doing that because the military keep the predators away from you. Versus in college, freshmen come on, hey, I'm gonna give you $500 credit card and I'll give you this soda free. But it ain't free. It's a group of predators that are paying the university to be there to take advantage of you. The university's taking advantage of you. They don't care whether you get that degree or not. They just care that you pay them. I just said something right there, y'all. They don't care if you get that degree. They just want you to pay them to get their name. And then after you graduate, they want you to pay them some more because you went there. Versus, I haven't served in a decade or so, and I still get checks. I still get paid. Did I sacrifice my body? Of course. Are you sacrificing your body on your job? Are they gonna give you, a little something when you leave for your service? I'm telling y'all, the military is a cheat code. And I know this show is not resonating for a lot of you because it wasn't your path. But I'm doing this show not just for you, but in honor of Veterans Day. Because there's so many kids that are coming into their adulthood and they need to understand life is hard. No matter which route you take, you're going to have your struggles. You're going to have your problems. Life's not going to go your way. But the hardest part of the journey is taking the first step. And yes, the military could be scary because worst case scenario, you could be sent off to war in some foreign land and you could die in combat. You could die in combat. But that's really the worst case scenario. Sure, you could lose a limb or whatever, but you're still here. But how is there any difference than hopping on Highway 40 on a Friday afternoon doing 80 miles an hour and somebody's tailgating you doing 79? People die in traffic at a faster clip than they die in the armed services. Just think about that for a second. People out here, I want my freedom. Freedom is not free. Freedom has to be earned. And freedom doesn't come without submission. How back at this word again? Freedom doesn't come without submission. Because no person can do it on their own. We all need partnership. We all need teamwork. We all need camaraderie. I serve with some of the most, dare I say, racist soldiers. But when it came to the mission, if we wanted to have mission success, guess what we had to do? We had to work together to have success. So there was a submitting of some wills for the greater cause. Anywho. And number 10, well, 9 was travel, cultural exploration. But number 10, because it's about that time, camaraderie and lifelong connections. Some of the best people I've ever met, I've met in the military. So many like-minded friends, now lifelong friends, that I know if I need them, all I gotta do is hit them up on Facebook and they're there. They know if they need me, hit me up on Facebook and I'm there. Because we formed a brotherhood. We have a bond that in a lot of ways are unbreakable. Because we shared experiences that were life-changing, life-forming, and we've imprinted, in a sense, on one another. We've imprinted, in a sense, on one another. So if you or someone you love has been going through life and you're just trying to figure it out, things ain't working the way you hoped that they would work, and I think, I'm not sure what the ages are anymore. It used to be 27 was the cutoff, but I think it's actually 32. I think it's actually 32. 32 is now your cutoff. So you have a lot of time, but you had to get through your 20s in these streets and not have a record or have something happen to you. It's tough. But if you out there and you still struggling with trying to figure out what you're gonna do with your life, go talk to a recruiter. At least see what the options are. Because I promise you, yes, there is some sacrifice involved. But if you ever want to be kept, join the military. They'll keep you. They'll strengthen you. They'll make you able to stand on your own too, regardless of what else has happened. And they'll give you the resources and the means to do it. And if they hurt you, if you get hurt in the service, they take care of you. That's kept. And that's why it's a cheat code. Because many soldiers walking around fine. Most of the people walking around served in the military and you have no clue that they served. But the skills that they learn. Oh, there go my baby. What up, boo? She said, I have soldiers in their mid-40s in my formations, and she's a drill sergeant. She's a basic, my daughter's a basic training drill sergeant. And she said she has soldiers in their mid-40s in her formations. So, if you've been struggling, I'm not a recruiter, but I'm just saying, the military is a cheat code for life. There's way more benefit. There's way more upside than downside. It truly is. And like I tell my children, man, I don't care what you do with your life, but just know you got to do something. You have to. You can't just sit around, man. You got to make your life matter. You got to make your life count for something. I've lost friends in combat, but I've lost more friends in car accidents than I have in combat. I'm going to just be honest with you guys. So share this video with somebody that's in your sphere of influence that may, be struggling with their purpose and what they want to do with their life. They want to do something, but they're afraid. Go talk to a recruiter. Because my youngest son, I tell you, he turned his paperwork in today. He gonna get scheduled, and they're gonna give him his marching orders, and then sometime next year he's going off to do that military thing. And I'm proud of the young gun for making a decision. He actually made the decision. He took the first step. He's actually taking the second step. Now he's changing some things around to make that a reality. So salute to all my veterans out there, all my active duty military personnel. Shout out to my baby for adding that great information, because I did not know that. There used to be a cap on that thing once upon a time. But anywho, you guys have a great day, and we will be back tomorrow. We may finish up this discussion a little bit because there's another part that I wanted to get to that I didn't get to today. So I'll see you guys in tomorrow. Y'all be blessed. Have a great Monday, Tuesday, and we'll talk soon. Peace.